Hey everybody, Slay here. I'm going to be taking out my Goblin. This is the XF-85 Tier 9 Premium American Fighter. And if you're like me and you have a P-80 and you like this plane, or like that plane for instance, you are going to probably enjoy this plane. A lot of people, kind of wrote this one off when it first came out as a crappier FJ1, which I guess it is, but a lot of people discount the fact that this plane prints credits. It's a tier 9, so you're obviously going to be making more money than you would in a tier 8 premium, and there's just nothing in the game right now that can make this kind of money. So with that said, let's go straight into the action. It's me and Desert. He's flying, I want to say, an IL-40, and I'm in my Goblin, and it looks like it's us versus another player Goblin. So I'm just going to kind of demonstrate what this thing can do, show you some of the money earning potential, and see, just how much fun this plane can be. So it has no problem, a lot of people in the beginning, like I said earlier, wrote this plane off as a crappy FJ1. It's not that good of a plane, but hopefully after watching this video you'll see that the guns actually do moderate damage. Yes, you're missing 2 guns that the FJ1 gets, but the 4 guns actually aren't that bad. There's a couple instances where I'm aiming like a stormtrooper, and the guns, obviously are going to take longer if you're not aiming well. I want to say it is probably with this F6U. Get this shit out of my system early, right? But you have no problem. The cool thing about this plane is getting on the tail of somebody and just staying there. And they can't really shake you. This plane has no flaps, which is pretty interesting, but the turn is really good. I just went head on there with a F94. It's Vulcan, so feels good being my 450s.
Enemy bombers inbound. Don't let them reach their target.
I don't really see the enemy Goblin much this game. I think I see him once or twice. Yeah, just like with any other plane out there, if you're going to face another Goblin, the only thing you can do to win that is get the early shots in. If you both are locked in a turn, you don't have any kind of turning consumable, whatnot, you're just going to be in an infinite turn with the guy. And if you have a flight mate, flight mate will come, give you a hand, and that's about the majority of what you can do there. Or if you have boost and he doesn't, then you can possibly just boost away. So obviously things like the IL-40 take a little bit longer to kill with this plane. Definitely take a lot longer to kill. But the cool thing about this plane, or any American 50 cal planes, is just the amount of crits and fires, whatnot, that you're going to be causing with those 50s. I've never caused so many fires in the game than I have playing the American line, that's for sure. Well, my go-to plane used to be the RB-17 when I wanted to make credits, or easy credits. And it still is one of those planes. If I'm going to solo queue for the day, I'm probably just going to be flying my RB, just because the potential for winning is super high there, as you can do a lot more carrying than you could, say, flying this. But if you're in a flight and you just want to have some fun, then this is obviously a good plane to play. It's not bad at all. You see, it has no problem going up to altitudes and just having some fun. And you look like a little badass. What's wrong with that? I love the paint job. I love the shape of the plane. I love its, what is that, 5 vertical tails? It's pretty insane. So I'm climbing up to the player Goblin here, and if you look, he's at like 4K. I don't know what he's doing up here. Maybe he's just, says, you know what, there's a flight against me, I'm just going to stay up high and not do anything about it. I don't know. That's a really, really high place to be in this Goblin. Redline, super quick. So now that I've redline, stalling out, I'm going to go ahead and shoot back to the ground, because near the ground, about 2K is where this Goblin sits best.
Communication with the headquarters established.
So I'm looking over here, do I really want to go in and jump into a giant group of planes in this plane? Not really. You have not that much HP, so the best thing you can do is just single out those planes like a heavy, get behind them, and just kind of wreck them every time. So this F2H, I just did a video about this plane. but the Goblin has no problem keeping up with it and tearing it to bits, that's for sure. Here's that Stormtrooper aim. Oh, somebody's on me, and I believe it was at 1056. Oh, 228. It's Big Brother. He gets killed, thankfully. And here's the Goblin. Now, this is what I was saying earlier. If you're in a turn with another Goblin, you're just going to be locked in that turn unless one of you guys scores a lucky crit. He's not really getting any hits on me, but the hits that I am getting on him aren't critting. So I have to call for help first from the bot, and I think it attracts the bot Starfire versus me. So the bot Starfire comes in, he's trying to get revenge on me. Luckily Desert's in his IL-40, kind of semi close by, and if anybody's ever flown an IL-40, you know those 623s are amazing for shooting down aircraft. So he comes in, he gives me a hand, because I mean it's just like a real life situation, right? So if you're in the Army and you're on a fire team or anything like that, and you think they're going to train you to be a one-man army, you're wrong. You know, when you're in that kind of situation, they're going to give you the tools and the training to basically last long enough for your friends to come out there and give you a hand. That's the whole point of an army, right? You're not out there by yourself. So same rule applies here. Same rule applies here in this game. If you have the means to use it, you know, you're in a flight with somebody, use them. You know, there's nothing worse than being in a flight and not doing anything to help each other. That just makes zero sense. You always want to do everything you can to help each other. Right here, I just kind of pleb out. I'm sitting behind this plane, but look how long you can fire these 50s. And you do have to fire these 50s for these GAs. You can just fire these things forever. Now I realize Squall's in 7 seconds-ish. Got the Goblin on my tail again. And yeah, I don't like to do that, but I did it. Rather than dying and getting squad out here, I decided to plant myself into the ground. I know it's a crappy tactic, but Wargaming, if you're watching, please do something about it. You know what I mean? If it's there, I don't see it as exploiting. It happens. But at the same point, do I like playing like that? No. Do I play like that always? Not at all. But if it's there and the time is right, then I'm going to use it. Here's that S6U again. I'm sad that I'm killing this plane so much. I actually kind of wanted to grind out this plane. I heard it is decent. If you guys have the S6U or know anything about it, please let me know in the comments. So, quick work with the S6U. He's dead. No more pirates here. And I realized, crap, we are about to... Oh, at one point we were getting squalled. We just had this garrison. So me and Desert, we run up to this garrison to defend it. And he's got a weird bug going on where he came back with no HUD, no nothing. Similar to my P80 video. But now it happened to him in his IL-40. So, again, Wargaming, if you're watching, there's a new bug. It's always a new bug, it seems. But they did patch the P80 bug fairly fast, so thank you. Sonic Pariah from Reddit, or sorry, the Wargaming community representative, he's been super awesome at just doing his job, really. It's nice to, you know, be part of a community where the community manager, you know, pops into Discord every now and then, or pops on Reddit. You see him on almost every Reddit post. It's just really good. So, quick shout out to Wargaming community representative Sonic Pariah. So on the bomber flights here, I want to do everything I can to preserve this cap. I know bomber flights aren't exactly an interesting mode of gameplay, but the last thing I want to do is get squalled at this point. So just figure I'd dump in some damage to these bombers here. You're not a fast killer of bombers by any means, but you are persistent, and persistence wins the battle, right? Like, if you can do something and you can do it for a long time, you're gonna have a good game. It's just the way it is. So I drop down, try and get this IL-40, but we're about to win the game. Just not enough time. I pull away, is over. So pretty solid win there.
Great job
I picked up
today.
Wing
We'll be
Legend,
waiting for you back home.
Airwolves, Tip of the Spear, Flying Paladin, just over 14k points. Desert had 14k in his IL 40. So let's go back to the hangar and see what kind of credits we can make with this plane. Now this type of game in my tier 8s would net me just around 340, 350k credits. Typical game like my Seafang or my RB. That's about what you'd be making at tier 8. So here at tier 9, once this hangar loads, we'll see how much I made. But it's slightly more than what you make at tier 8. That is for sure. So pull in a cool 496,000 credits, which is absolutely no joke because getting Wing Legend in this plane is not that hard. As for people who scoff at the guns and say the guns aren't much, you only got 4 of them, I just did 9,400 damage in a light fighter. I mean, it is a possibility. It is a good plane. Don't write this plane off, guys. Definitely give it a shot. I can't recommend it enough. And the mere fact that it comes or came with a 9-skill pilot, which I happily threw on my XF-90, comes with all the equipment you need. It literally just comes fully capable of being competitive at tier 9. Why not? You know, I don't think there's ever been more value for your buck. If you are like me and you're in this for the long haul, then pick it up, use it, and just have fun with it. But anyways, guys, that was the XF5U, or sorry, disregard. That was the XF-85 Goblin. You guys have a good night. Thank you.